Hey everybody! Welcome to the Beantown Beatdown.
Matthew Burris.
James Thomas.
All right, we're back after some vacation time needed, so we're back. And got some beers here. We also got the Angry Orchard here, but I'm gonna fill mine up with this first. Have a little mix.
Yeah, exactly. Matt likes it's going.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Still got the passion fruit and all that. Yeah, we got a lot to get to today.
Yeah, exactly. So let's set them up.
Yep. All right. First and foremost, cheers.
Cheers, yo.
Mm-hmm.
Great to be in summer. Great to be in summer.
Mm-hmm. Well, first and foremost, as we all know, Christine Cyborg Santos got the axe from the UFC.
Oh, geez.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And little technical.
Just deal with it. Okay. Yeah.
Little technical difficulties, folks. Sorry. But and we still have more, but okay, I'll keep talking.
Keep talking.
First and foremost, Christine Cyborg got the axe, and now, of course, according to this, it was because she got the axe because she was because her management had set up videos of Dana back in the old days, calling her, saying like she looked like a man, and stuff when she was in Strike Force. And then, of course, when Strike Force was bought out by the UFC, she was one of the ladies that came over to UFC. She was in Invicta, and Dana says that he would welcome her, and even Joe Rogan even made some jokes, and then Joe Rogan later apologized to her, and he said in private, and actually took a photo with her, which was 4 years ago. And actually, Joe Rogan.
Well, okay. The question that America would be asking though is why? Why did she get the axe?
I just explained earlier why she got the axe
because
it's because she was complaining about Dana, bullying her when it was actually a setup. They digitally, distorted it.
Okay, so she was saying lies about her about her boss, her partner.
Well, that was more of her management part, and Cyborg was saying like, oh, I was being bullied, and Christine said, she said like after her last fight, she said, oh, I'm being bullied, and they're hurting my brand, and also I have a daughter in 4th grade, and she's getting bullied by the remarks, by Dana said. Now Dana, of course. We all know Dana can be a bastard at times, and Dana puts his foot in his mouth. But, since then, he has apologized. And, they just took an old clip from years ago, and which was also 15 seconds. And it's like, okay, now you start complaining about being bullied and stuff now. And, the thing is, it's kind of sad, on both parts because, one, Cyborg isn't going to be in the organization anymore. But it's also sad because her daughter. I mean, if her daughter's getting bullied, then it's like, that's just sad, having to pay for the mother's sins.
Right, exactly. I mean, yeah, I don't know. I guess there's the whole question: is there honor in thieves? And like basically, now I think you guys as fight fans have to answer all the time: is there honor in fighting, and is there honor in your on your partners, your managers, and all that?
Oh wait, your cup still.
That cup still runneth over for now.
Yeah, I'll leave that for you. But I mean, at least now she has the opportunity to fight in PFL and Bellator, ONE FC.
So you think she's going to move on to these other platforms?
Well, yeah, I mean, Kayla Harrison, of course, who's 4-0 in PFL, she says that she would welcome Cyborg to the organization.
Right.
I think as good as PFL has, it's really gaining some steam, especially with Lillian Garcia as the ring announcer.
Oh, okay. Right. So there's a whole other opening for fighters.
Lillian Garcia is the ring announcer. She used to be a ring announcer for the WWE back in the days. Remember her?
No, I don't. But thank you for telling me. Yeah. Anyway, the point is, this is a story. This is a story about about kind of like the whole like who can you trust? Who can you trust, or when to stop bad mouthing.
Oh yeah,
right?
exactly. And but also I think either ONE FC or Bellator would be also a better fit because they both do kickboxing and MMA. So like she would fit right in with those organizations. I mean,
yeah.
ONE FC does kickboxing and Muay Thai,
right,
as well as MMA. So like, I mean, trust me,
it's like much more branched out into different martial arts that people haven't heard of yet.
Well, everyone knows kickboxing and Muay Thai, just not as popular in the United States. Yeah,
I know.
But
I mean, other people besides fight fans.
Yeah, and the thing is, Cyborg, she's a beast in kickboxing and in Muay Thai. I mean, I've seen her fight. I mean, it's like almost at the level of Tyson.
Really?
Yeah, like she comes in and she destroys you. She is like one of the best female strikers of all time. Yeah, and
so I mean, so it sounds like you would hope that she goes on and like makes the platform bigger and like keeps her keeps her big name and gets to still be challenged. Sounds like that's what you would like, right?
Yeah, that sounds like something I would like, right? But we'll have to see what happens. And Dana said so in an interview that he's out of the cyborg business and and stuff. So yeah, Cyborg's management, they don't fucked up. Yes.
Yeah.
All right, in our next one, we're going to be talking about the Errol Spence versus Sean Porter fight. That's on September 29th. Wait, is it the 29th or 28th? Hold on a second. Let me check my calendar. I got a calendar on my phone.
This guy, so pin pushy about dates. So pin pushy. So exact.
Yeah. It's it's the 28th. Okay, yep, the 28th is on a Saturday. So yeah.
Good. You can mark it on your calendar, people.
Yep, it's going to take place on the 28th at the Staples Center, which is going to be a good reason for Laker fans to go to the Staples Center.
There you go.
Oh yeah, Lakers had a bad season, but the upcoming season's looking pretty promising.
All right, that's good. That's good for them.
And Errol Spence and Sean Porter are two of the best welterweights in the world right now. I mean, of course, the top dog is Manny Pacquiao after the Keith Thurman fight.
Right.
And they said that the winner of this fight could take on Manny Pacquiao next year. And I really hope that happens, though. Of course, never count out Terrence Crawford, who's the WBO champion. So, like, we'll have to see, if we can get like a cross promotion between PBC and Top Rank.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah, that'd be something to see.
Yeah, absolutely. And Errol Spence, he's undefeated. He's got good hand speed. His good knockout power. And then Sean Porter, he's been defeated before, but he's also a former two-time welterweight champion and also a former super lightweight champion as well.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's going to come down to a matter of skill and will, I think, in this fight. And once again, this is another great fight for the welterweight division in boxing. I mean, welterweight division has just been on fire. Danny Garcia's back. Errol Spence Jr. had a great fight against Mikey Garcia when Mikey tried to move up to the welterweight division. Manny Pacquiao destroyed Adrian Broner and actually outboxed Keith Thurman.
Really?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, he won that whole fight. I mean, I don't see how the judges score that as split decision. It's just like, split decision? What the fuck were you people thinking?
What fight were you watching?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I mean, that's what they always say in team sports. What fucking game were you watching? What fucking match were you watching? Same thing here. You know what I mean?
Well, yeah, absolutely. And that was, I mean, it was just incredible. I mean, it was an incredible fight. And also that night, when I came over, when I watched it at my house, my in-laws were there for the Fox PBC fight, a card with Caleb Plant and Yeah, I mean, yeah, Caleb Plant and Mike Lee.
Okay.
And
nice.
of course, they left before the pay-per-view, and I was getting on my my sister-in-law. I said like, "Hey, you don't leave before the main event. That's the rule of the fight." She goes, "Well, look, I just came here for the food. I came here for the food and the drinks. I didn't come for the fight." Yeah, and
yeah, you gotta watch. Not all not all Eastern European women will stay for the fight. Some of them will, and they'll cheer them on.
She's Cape Verdean.
Oh, Cape Verdean. Well, yeah.
Yeah.
sorry, but same type of thing. Some of them will and cheer them on, and some of them will be just there for the food and they'll peel out.
Well, yeah, but well, for me, I have certain rules when it comes to watching fights.
Yes, I know Matt has rules.
Well, one, it's a no veggie zone unless you're putting it on a pizza.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that means well, the exception is for if you're a vegetarian or a vegan.
Mm-hmm.
But for the most part, it's like it's a meat and cheese kind of event.
Right. I went through a phase of vegetarian, so I remember. But that was watching a fight at a restaurant. So technically, I had to use that rule, that exception. But yeah, that was a phase.
Yeah.
Anyway, continue.
And also the other rule for watching a fight is no reading a book. And this is mostly guarded towards the women. Ladies, please don't be reading a book. That's not the time to be reading Daniel Steele or Marian Antoinette.
Yeah.
Or even 50 Shades of Grey. No. No.
Yeah. So I was gonna say, yeah. Does that count for phones and tablets though? Is the thing.
Phones and tablets. I gotta say, yeah. Sorry. Also, my other rule is don't go to the bathroom during a fight. Wait till the fight is over to go to the bathroom because then you'll get to see all the action. And of course, I learned this the hard way when
speaking for some of America, that's it's pretty fucking hard. But I know that when we go to the important movie, first day, first release, that it's the same type of thing. You don't want to go to the bathroom. But America acknowledges that it's hard, and sometimes you miss it, in the movie theater.
Well, yeah. Well, the thing is, it's like I learned that the hard way when the night Mike Tyson knocked Bruce Seldon the fuck out, and I recognized that, and You
mean that you went to the bathroom? And
yeah, went to the bathroom, and the fight was over. Yeah, I learned my lesson the hard way. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, from Mike Tyson, and the last but not least, well, the other rule, second to last, but not least, or whatever you want to call it. No rosé. I mean, I'll take Moscato for a fight or sangria, but that's as fancy as I get. No rosé, no Zinfandel. Either.
It's funny that you will though. I mean, Moscato. Like I understand that fights. Most of them don't have wine, but. Maybe you'd have I think maybe you'd have a hearty red, but that's it. But I don't know. Moscato, but in champagne though, don't they spray some of the winners with champagne?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Well, champagne if it's a mimosa. Like you mix it with the orange juice. Make it a mimosa.
That's a strange observation. I was just saying that maybe champagne because when some fighters win, break the bottle, champagne everywhere.
Yeah, some of them do that, and they also still do that for team sports. So I'm just checking the volume real quick. Just trying to see turn it up a little bit, and I do this without breaking the camera.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Moving on.
Yeah, and my last rule, of course, as we all know, is do not leave an event before the main event. Don't leave until the main event is over. I hate it when people do that. It's kind of annoying. It's like the main event is why you come and all of a sudden the fight that you want to see, and all of a sudden you're going. You're like, oh, I gotta go, and I gotta get up early in the morning, or oh, I'm getting tired, and it's like you came for the main event, you fucking idiots! You're gonna miss the good fight.
I get you. I'm sure that's the struggle for the fight fans.
Oh yeah, we're really fucking up today. Yeah, we really are fucking up today.
That angle was wrong. Okay. Anyway, continue.
But yeah, those are my rules. Of course, I think your sisters would break maybe 2 out of like
2 out of 6. So
yeah.
Would that is that? Yeah, they probably would.
Yeah, they'd be the ones that they would bring the 2 fancy wines, and they would leave before the main event. It's like, I asked for sangria, not rosé, and not Zinfandel. And then like before the main event goes, oh, we gotta get up in the morning. It's like, bitch, this is the reason why you came. By the way,
don't call my sisters bitches, by the way, even if they do that. Yes, you're fully fine to get angry at them.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think you should know. No, I know that was a joke, but don't call my sisters bitches.
Okay. Damn it, Carmen, do not call my mom a bitch.
Exactly. It's gonna get real South Park in here.
Well, don't say it, Matthew. Well, I'm warning you. Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah. By the way, shout out to both Gabe's sisters. You know, we love you, and glad that you're both moms.
Yeah. Yes. Exactly.
So, but for that fight, I'm really looking forward to it. I gotta save a lot of money for that, and also I'm going to go on a strict diet. I'm still drinking beer, but the junk food, yeah. And I'm also going to try and cut down on the beer too.
All right, good luck.
Yep, that's going to be a Domino's night. I couldn't make it a Domino's night that night, but for this fight, I'm definitely going to make it a Domino's night.
Hell yeah!
And if you're available, why don't you and Mike tag along?
All right, sure. I mean, we'll look into it. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And also some fight announcements coming up. Well, first of all, tonight, if you go on YouTube.com, you go to the Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship channel. They're going to be doing a live stream of Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship fight card at 7:00. Definitely looking forward to that. And I'm actually, after this, I'm going to the grocery store. Going to get me some pizza for that fight.
Oh yeah.
And also Saturday the 24th, which is when we're going to be doing our next show. Yep. It's a double header of Bellator and boxing, Bellator MMA and boxing. Yep.
Two worlds collide.
Yep. At 9:00, it is Matt Mitrione versus Sergey Katernolov, part 2.
Okay.
Yep, the rematch, and of course Figueroa versus Chacon for the interim WBA super bantamweight championship in the world. That's going to be on Fox Sports 1 at 10:00. So so for that show, we're definitely going to be going down the cards for that one. And I think we're just going to do predictions and stuff like that. It's not going to be a final countdown show, but we will make predictions and what have you. And also, don't forget, I do my new shows after the big fights called After the Bell, where I talk immediately after the fight, my thoughts on the fights and what have you. I do that right after. I do that on a Facebook page, Beantown Beatdown at facebook.com. And I will not be doing that for the actually I will do that for the Bare Knuckle. No, I'm not gonna do that for the Bare Knuckle show. It's a little too close, like not much further notice. But I will do it for the 24th fight. So stay tuned for that on Facebook.
All right. Here's to that.
Oh, yep. Here's to that.
Now that you've filled it again, all right.
Wait, did you already fill this up?
Yeah. Oh. Very good.
Oh, oh, spilled it.
All in my hand now. Anyway, let's move on to the last segment, right?
Well, we're trying. Well, we usually make our shows an hour, so it's like 19 minutes.
Oh man, make them an hour, make them 45 minutes.
Yeah, 45 minutes. So 10, 20. Yeah, we got like 20 minutes. Okay, yeah, 20 minutes. Yeah, left to go here on the show.
All right,
and we're gonna make this a good 20 minutes because it is for for our last segment, which is called The Summer of Batman.
Hell yeah.
Yep, Batman celebrating its 80th anniversary. And
Wow,
of course,
nice.
and of course, we're doing all things related to Batman and also superheroes.
Yep.
And we're going to be doing a review of the Batman 1989 soundtrack by the Purple One himself, the Royal Badness, Prince.
Hell yeah, Prince.
Yep. Now, a little backstory on this album. I mean, this album literally saved Prince's career because the last album before he did that was Love Sexy.
Right.
And that album failed commercially. It was conceived. It really was a bad album. And of course, by that time, the Revolution, his band, the Revolution, had left. He created the Love Sexy band, which was like consisted of like Sheila Easton. The only one from the Revolution that was there was Dr. Fink, the one that was on the keyboards. And, the Doctor Get Up and stuff like that. Yeah, he actually remained with them until the first New Power Generation album, the Diamonds and Pearls album. Yeah. And not only was the album not successful, but the tour was unsuccessful too. And because of that, Paisley Park, which he had bought years ago. I think it was like maybe 2 or 3 years ago before that. It was, financially, he needed money for that. And also Prince actually fired his managers and publicists. And also Prince, at this time was still at Warner Brothers, Warner Brother Records. And there were some movies that he wanted to get off the ground. And Warner Brothers was like, well, until you do unless your next album is successful, we're not gonna let you do another movie or whatever.
Interesting. Yeah, exactly. I mean, that is the life of a performing star. The next album has to be good. If the other album tanked, and maybe it didn't tank, but but it's funny that you said not commercial success. It's like, that's one way of saying, it might not have tanked, but it was still like, well, as far as everyone's concerned, it did not.
Well, also at that time, Prince was kind of going through a phase where it was like, he became a little self-indulgent. It's like, after Purple Rain, then there was Around the World in a Day.
And these are the songs that people like us know. These are the songs that people like I know. I didn't know as much about the band history as you do. But.
Well, Around the World in a Day created, Pop Life, American Dream, and of course, Raspberry Beret, which is the best one. And then there was Sign of the Times, which was the last album he did with the Revolution.
Okay.
Yeah, and that's where he had The Look and Sign of the Times, and then Love Sexy was just also Parade, which was the soundtrack to Under the Cherry Moon. Kiss and Girls and Boys and Mountains. But Prince was kind of going through that phase where it was like, okay, whatever I do, people are gonna like it, and whatever other people don't like, well, then that's their loss. And then it kind of became like, he's a little too self-indulgent, and he's just doing whatever he wants.
Right. And I guess that is the problem. If it's like whatever I put out, it's going to be a success. No, it doesn't work that way in the real world. And it really doesn't. Even if you made a mega platinum album, it doesn't work that way in the real world. The next album will be a success just because you say it will.
Yeah, people were expecting another Purple Rain, and but of course, I mean, later on, and I kind of respect, and this is one of the reasons why I really respect Prince. Prince was one of those people where it's like, okay, I'm focused on what I'm doing now.
Right.
I mean, granted, it's a little bit of a pain in the ass because people, always want to talk about Purple Rain and like the success, and people are like, well, hey, listen, you're right. Why not ride the wave a little longer? And Prince's thing is like, okay, I did the album, did the movie, okay, next.
Right, exactly, and that must be. I mean, that is the mark of a good performer as well. It's like I'm actually thinking about the next thing. I'm thinking about the future. I'm gonna, and those of them that are on the scene for so long, you know, you have to have like different chapters. Madonna, Whitney Houston, you know, on the scene for so long, you have to have different chapters as you go, and like I think that's, you know, I think that's where Lady Gaga's heading. I think, you know, it's like there are different chapters to be had if you're flexible enough to actually do it.
Oh yeah, you know, I mean, but of course, we all know that eventually the Prince would also get another movie, and the less said about Graffiti Bridge, the better. The unsuccessful sequel to Purple Rain. But anyways, you know, and of course, the Batman movie was coming out in '89,
right?
And you know, there was a huge marketing push for this. You know, there was of course the shirt.
We've talked about it in other episodes recently.
Yeah, the shirt emblem,
check them out.
the shirt emblem, the toys, and of course, you know, the movie poster and you know the pictures. In fact, actually, it was to the point where fans would call like Movie Phone to find out, you know, what time if the trailer was going to be. They would call about a movie that would be showing the trailer, and then they would go up to the movie theater just to see the trailer. And then after the trailer, boom, they would leave. Yeah, that shows you. Now in today's world, it kind of, you know,
that would never happen.
Well, it kind of would happen, but people would be like, "You fucking cheap bastards!"
Yeah. Well. So wait, would they pay for the movie though? That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, they would go to the movie, but if they see the trailer for the movie that they want to see that's coming up, and then they see the trailer, it's like, okay, we saw the trailer. Goodbye.
Yeah, exactly. I was gonna say, in this day and age, you know, that was great that they were so dedicated and that they had the money. Like that's the other thing. In this day and age, you'd be like, you paid for the movie and just saw the trailers. You know, you dumbass.
Yeah, exactly. But of course. You know, Prince attached himself to the Batman soundtrack. Actually, Tim Burton wanted Prince for it, and actually Jack Nicholson wanted him for it too. Jack Nicholson was a fan of Prince, and Jack Nicholson, of course, playing the Joker in it. And another thing that's actually been discovered is that actually the the Batman soundtrack was actually supposed to feature both Michael Jackson and Prince. It was supposed to be a duet album.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Well, the concept of the album was that Batman was going to be Michael Jackson. Michael Jackson was going to sing like the ballad songs, the heroic ballad songs for Batman.
Okay.
And Prince was going to do like the funk, upbeat, you know, songs for the Joker.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, and interestingly enough, Michael Jackson was still on tour. For the Bad Tour in 1989.
Right.
So he couldn't do it. And also, like, he was signed to Epic Records, you know, so it's like he couldn't do it if he wanted to, I think. And so Prince wound up doing the whole album. And it really is a real good concept album because it's like it uses sound bites from the movie and, you know, Prince is being both Batman and Joker.
Yeah, that does sound like a very good concept. Yeah, and then especially, you know, back then it was you know, much more revolutionary to like really, you know, to really do that. It was before the video albums, you know, before Lemonade, you know. It's like boom, we're actually doing it the same way. We're using pieces from the movie, not just in music videos, but in you know, in the music itself.
Yeah, exactly. And of course, we have the songs here that I reviewed, and I actually have the soundtrack. I actually before I got the soundtrack, it took me years to track that down. Actually,
really?
Yeah, I found it one time at Barnes and Nobles. I had some money on me. I was like, yes, I'm getting this. And there was actually some songs on here that I didn't really think much of, but I listened to it today. But I've been listening to it to prepare for this episode, and I've changed my mind.
Okay.
So here we are. The first song on the album is The Future. Of course, we hear that in the beginning when the family is trying to find a taxi in the beginning of the movie. Yeah, and of course, eventually the father gets mugged. And, you know, we hear, I see the future, and it would be, it's basically a song about, you know, Prince is saying in the song, you know, like, the future is, you know, it'll be inhibited with drugs and alcohol, and that love and spirituality will heal it. And it's a Batman song, and of course we all know that Batman would just like his answer to it is just like throwing a batarang at the problem or kicking someone's ass.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, and it's a good.
So that's different than the actual concept of the song, but
yeah, it's that's 4 stars. Yeah, I'm doing the star.
Star system.
Yeah, just like they do in the movies or
exactly.
in professional wrestling.
All right, so David 5 stars being the best.
Yeah, 4 stars. Electric Chair, that's a 4-star song as well. It's a good song, but it's a Joker song about, the Joker, like in his mind, he's thinking about committing a crime, but he hasn't committed it yet. Mm-hmm. But also it's also about like seeing a girl on a dance floor and wanting to have sex and and stuff, but also maybe having sex with her friend. Mm-hmm. So it's it's a good rock song, it's 4 stars.
Okay.
The third song, The Arms of Orion, which we named this episode after.
Exactly. So
yep.
Boom, boom, boom.
Yeah, for all you
title song.
Yep, for all you Batman fans out there. Mm-hmm. Arms of Orion, that's the duet that Prince did with Sheena Easton, and of course we all know, it's on the the belt of Orion, and I forget what their signs are, but their signs are is that they're so close that they meet in the middle of Orion's belt.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, their signs.
Okay.
And this is actually a pretty good ballad song, good slow song. Of course, when it comes to collaborations between Prince and Sheena Easton, who were dating a long time ago, actually, of course, I prefer You Got the Look. Yes, of course, that's number 1. And of course, Sugar Walls, which Prince produced. My Sugar Walls. Yeah, and actually, that was actually taken from an unreleased song on the Purple Rain soundtrack called Obsessed.
Oh,
yeah,
really?
you hear it when Apollonia is in the club, with Morris.
Okay.
Yeah, he goes, I'm obsessed. Yeah. Yes.
Thanks for giving us the keyboard beat.
Yeah, thank you. Party Man, of course, is the next track. 5 stars.
Right.
Good song. That's when the Joker and his henchmen, that was used in the movie when they were taking over the museum. He goes, gentlemen, let's broaden our minds. Lawrence? And that's always been my favorite part of the movie, and it's also my favorite song too.
Oh,
and
yeah?
Yeah, in fact, I named one of my alter egos after the song Party Man because, and you've met Party Man, you've met Party Man plenty of times on New Year's Eve. I get drunk, I get high, and it's like, Party Man, rock the party like nobody can.
Yeah, I mean, he does the moonwalk, he does all these dance moves.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Another 5-star track, Vicky Waiting. This is actually taken from an old song called Anna Waiting.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, named after Annie Garcia, aka Anna Fantastic. She was the inspiration behind Prince's song Pink Cashmere.
Oh, really?
Because for her 18th birthday, Prince got her a pink cashmere.
Oh.
Yeah, and she also went on to have a music career. She did a remake of Marvin Gaye's Sexual Healing back in 1994, which you can find on YouTube. And her and Prince dated for a while, and then she went on and did her own stuff in the 90s and stuff. And matter of fact,
so he gave her a pink cashmere when she was 18. Was there talk that they were dating then, or was it just a business thing?
Kind of a little. I think she was in between when Prince was engaged to Savannah and when Prince, because also around the Batman era, the time when Prince did the Batman soundtrack, he was also dating Kim Basinger. So yeah, a little in between that. Or maybe they had I also heard Prince was also dating Jill Jones in 1990. So it's like, man, maybe they had one of those on again, off again relationships. Maybe, I don't know, but
all right. Well, I'm just whatever. It's not a big deal, I guess. Now, back.
Well, it is a big deal
nowadays. Yes, that's a huge deal. That you shouldn't have been dating someone who wasn't 18 yet.
Yeah. Well. Also, she's European. She's like half. Well, she's Italian, and she was born in England.
Yeah, so that makes it all better.
No, not all better, but like you know how it is in Europe. You know, they're all like
a little more.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah, and also,
I'm just saying.
Oh, plus it's also a big deal when anytime Prince is fucking the shit out of a bitch. So.
Okay, Matt.
Yeah. So, and of course, the song is about Batman wanting to being in love with Vicky Vale and trying to I mean, as Bruce Wayne, he wants to tell Vicky that he's Batman and the secret.
Right.
Yeah. Also, Arms of Orion, that was also about how Batman and Kim Basinger like make love in the movie and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah. The part where where Brucey goes, "Hey, one drink and I'm flying." She goes, "Why are you afraid of flying?" And they kiss, and she winds up in his bed. Next track is Trust. That's in the scene where the Joker does his parade and is throwing out money.
Right.
Trust.
Totally.
Who do you trust? And of course, at least that scene, that famous line where he goes, "It's time for who do you trust? Hubba, 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 money, money, money. Who do you trust? Me? I'm giving out free cash. And where is the Batman? He's at home washing his tights." God, I love that movie, and I love Jack Nicholson's.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, Trust is it's a good star. I mean, good song. 5 stars. Yep, Liquor and Me. Next song is Lemon Crush. This is actually a 3.5 stars. This song was also inspired by Anna Garcia, aka Anna Fantastic.
Yeah.
And this is because she used to drink a drink called Lemon Crush. I've never heard of this drink.
I have.
What's in a Lemon Crush, by the way?
I think it's a lemon peel and probably an actual lemon drop of candy at the bottom of the glass.
Is there vodka or
vodka and what's that one like? Triple sec, maybe.
Oh, triple sec. Oh, okay.
But I mean, triple sec, but citrus. There's a citrus version, or orange or lemon version of triple sec.
How sweet is it?
My guess is that it's kind of.
I'm
not sure.
Oh, you never had it?
No.
Okay.
But I do know about that, and I'm pretty sure the whole thing was a lemon peel and a lemon drop in the bottom.
Yeah. And
probably with some more sugar to then stir in and pretend that the whole thing's a lemon drop.
Yeah. Lemon Crush is actually a Vicky Vale song. It's where like Vicky Vale's being pursued by both she puts herself in she's in danger, and Joker and Batman both want her affection, and of course in a way she's sort of turned on. Yeah, I bet. Yeah, I bet if there was like they did like a porno parody of it, it'd probably show like they'll probably have like one sex scene of her fucking Batman, fucking Bruce Wayne, her fucking Joker, then like one scene of her doing like a solo scene masturbating with a vibrator, and then of course in the end there's a 3-way, Joker giving it to her.
Batman.
Yeah, Joker giving it to her up the ass. Yeah. Yes.
Porno imagination.
Yeah, but it's an okay song. Not something I'll break my neck to see. I mean to listen to.
Right.
Yeah. So.
So what do you put that? 3 stars.
3.5 stars. Okay. Almost close to a 4 stars. Okay. Next track, Scandalous. Scandalous is where Batman, I guess, pronounces his love to Vicky Vale, and and they talk about being intimate with each other and stuff. And it really is a good erotic sex song. And when you think of this song, the first thing you think of is like sex. And of course,
just like the soft trumpets in jazz, like sexy jazz music,
or the saxophone by Kenny G.
Exactly.
Yeah, and also in the background when you hear like the moaning sounds, that's Kim Basinger.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and of course, her and Prince wound up dating, and of course, Prince actually produced her one and only album.
Really?
Yeah, it's not a great album. The only 2 songs on it are "Love at First Sight," which is a good sexy erotic song, and actually it's the kind of song that actually you could actually jack off to, you know. And then there's the other song called "Will You Stay With Me," which if you listen to it, it really does sound a whole lot like New Edition's "Can You Stand the Rain."
Oh,
yeah. Will you stay with me? And
I was gonna say those are similar words too, and it would make sense. That
the arrangement,
that melody, and the arrangement that you just said.
Arrangement, absolutely. And the last song on this is "Back Dance." This is another 5-star song. Scandalous is 5 stars, and this is 5 stars as well.
Okay.
This song was so popular that it played on MTV every 30 minutes. I heard.
Really?
Yeah, every 30 minutes.
30 minutes.
Well, yeah. I can see how, because like I remember when "Nothing But a G Thing" by Dr. Dre and Snoop Dogg came on. It's like every time you turned that on MTV, that video was playing nonstop.
Right.
Or like when Michael Jackson's "Thriller" came on. You know, it was so big. It was like, and they weren't playing that many black artists. They weren't even playing hip hop at that time. But all the black audience would sit through all the music videos on MTV just to see "Thriller."
That's a good point. And to think that it's like as big as radio was in the like 50s and 60s, whatever. Like, this whole music video generation that we're still in was actually like, back then, it was MTV, it was live. And so that
video killed the radio star.
Exactly. But MTV was the next radio in this case, and the hot tracks were playing over and over and over again. They just had the video accompaniment now.
Yeah, of course. And of course there's the video where Prince comes out as half Batman and half Joker. He calls himself Gemini. And there's there's women posing as Batman, and then there's the Jokers, and of course that if you listen to the song, it also incorporates mixes of the Future and Electric Chair. Also, one more thing I forgot to mention, Electric Chair, Prince performed this on the 10th anniversary of Saturday Night Live. Yeah, he does a great live performance. You can look it up on YouTube. It's fantastic.
I love it. And so that's like part of the whole thing. When was this, before or after? I'm guessing before he became the artist formerly known as.
This was way before
that.
Before the artist.
But it's interesting also that symbol that he used. It's actually
As a matter of fact, actually, Vicky Waiting. It sounds like something that would be heard on the Symbol album, the one where he did the 07 and we'll watch them, because it has like a little bit of that Arabic, sound. It sounds like something he would have later on do in the 90s.
Interesting. Anyway, I was just gonna say that symbol, just since we are talking so much about Prince, I'd feel neglect to not say that symbol is actually it's complex and whatever, but from what I understand, it's actually a lot. It's actually semi-based off of the bisexual symbol.
I don't remember hearing anything about that.
Yeah, the symbol is bisexual symbol is the thing with the woman symbol is the thing with a cross with a head, and anyway, bisexual symbol is that with an arrow out on a diagonal, because that's the male symbol, is a circle with an arrow out. So it's a thing with a head and arrow out, and his symbol was a lot like that, except maybe with some like tail swoosh on this side, and and like some dots and stuff above.
Yeah, and of course, also in the video, when they do the electric chair part, it turns into like more of a little bit hipper groove, like a little bit of a hip hop groove. And in the video, he has a bunch of women dressed up like Kim Basinger as Vicky Vale, and one of them actually has a shirt. They have like a black dress and all that.
Sequin dress.
There's even a part. There's even one of them has a shirt that says "All This and Brains Too." oh man, Prince must have been
shout out.
Yeah, Prince must have been fucking the shit out of Kim Basinger. Yeah, and then of course in the end, Prince as Gemini, he blows everything up and stuff, and also another thing that many people may not don't realize is that there's actually a song that Prince did for the Batman soundtrack that got left off the soundtrack.
Oh yeah,
it was called "Dance with the Devil," and that was he left that off the song because he felt like it was too dark. And of course, I'm going to talk more about that song in the next episode. I'm going to do a review of that.
Okay.
But to give you a backstory on it, like Prince thought it was too dark, and it actually went up on the famous or infamous Black album that came out in 1994.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, all the unreleased tracks and stuff like that, and of course it includes sound bits from the Joker and stuff, and of course Dance with the Devil. Of course that's in the Batman scene. We always hear when Jack Nicholson's character as the Joker goes, "You ever dance with the devil by the pale moonlight?" Yeah, and then it was,
and that's an infamous line.
Well, yeah, he did that when he shot Bruce Wayne.
Yeah,
in Vicky Vale's apartment, and of course we hear in the flashback when we see the flashback scene to when Batman's parents were killed, and it turns out it was the Joker who killed his parents, and he goes, and he says it in slow motion. He goes, "Tell me something, kid. You ever dance with the devil by the pale moonlight?" And he points it at him, and it looks like he's gonna kill Batman. But then Bob the Goon goes like, "Hey, let's go, Jack!" And he goes, "See you around, kid." And of course, that's when Bruce realizes that, recognizes like, oh wait, it was him that killed my parents,
right?
Which didn't happen in the comics. They did that for the movies and stuff like that. And then of course in the scene where it looks like Kim, when they're in the cathedral and Vicky Vale looks like he's giving Joker a blowjob, and oh, I love purple. And then of course, Joker's thinking, oh wait, I'm getting a blowjob, and then all of a sudden he hears the voice. He goes, "Excuse me, you ever dance with the devil by the pale moonlight?" Boom! Batman punches the shit out of him.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. So, but all around, my final grade for this album is A-. It's a great Prince album, and of course, actually, critics thought it really wasn't a good album. They thought it was like Prince going back to his old stuff, and actually, his real fans some of them wanted to go back to his funk roots. Some of them thought he went a little too rock and roll, but there are some good funk jams and stuff like that, and actually. What was I going to say? Oh yeah, and people just thought that it was like, oh, it's still Prince not moving forward, but he was moving forward with some stuff, and also the other thing is also by 1989, like R&B music had changed. There was like New Jack Swing, and Janet Jackson had changed her sound. Right. And with New Jack Swing, you had like Teddy Riley with Guy, and Bobby Brown, of course, the My Prerogative and stuff like that. And of course, Michael Jackson, changed a little bit. He would fully change with the Dangerous album, which was a masterpiece. If you talk about New Jack Swing, that's a masterpiece. Right. And people thought like, oh, well, this is Prince, still being Prince. He's not moving on or anything. Right.
Except, going back to his roots, and the people really liked that album from what you tell me.
Well, yeah, like I said, it saved. It was a hit. It is a hit, and but it's like
his career.
Yeah, it saved his career, and of course that eventually led. Of course, there was the Graffiti Bridge soundtrack, which is it's an okay, there's some good songs on there, right. But of course it wouldn't be until 1991's Diamonds and Pearls album with the New Power Generation that really that put Prince back on top with the legend iconic status.
Exactly.
But the soundtrack is really good. It's really good to listen to if you're a Prince fan or a fan of the Batman soundtrack. You haven't listened to the soundtrack yet. Right? Or
no, no. I've heard some. I've heard some the songs, and people always tell me yes, it's from the soundtrack.
Oh yeah, yeah. You definitely gotta listen to that, and also you gotta listen to "Dance with the Devil" too. It's a haunting song, and I got two good stories from this song, and one of them also involves our former friend K Dog.
Right.
So stay tuned for that on August the 24th, which is we will be back at 4:00.
Exactly.
Yep, that's our new time, 4:00 on Saturdays every 2 weeks.
Exactly.
And make sure you stay tuned.
Stay tuned. Subscribe on the Facebook page. We have more content on there, and keep liking and watching here on YouTube.
Yep, and also keep watching Gabe's World Outside the Ring. As well, and we'll be bringing a new segment to this show as well. So stay tuned for that as well.
All right.
So from
Beantown to your town,
this is Beantown Beatdown. Matthew Burris,
Gabe Thomas,
Vios con Dios.
Boom.